Hi, welcome back to SBR podcast. You can see 3.3% for quarter, it was 245. The next quarter, we are showing Macau, 3.3, it was 3%. But then you can see 3.3 against 3.56, 3.59, and the last one, 3.92% in the fourth quarter. That means 60 basis points overall win about their expected hold in Macau. Also, why is this important? Because this may seem meaningful, 0.62%, oh wow. But when you're rolling billions, the Wynn Palace at Macau, they have a 6 billion rolling program per quarter. So you imagine mixing this 0.6% by 3 billion, it means 180 million, brothers. But, they say expected hold, it's luck, expected hold impact. They are arresting 44 billion for this company in Macau. And then we're gonna jump to the biggest similarity in the market, because Wynn Palace, Wynn Peninsula, Las Vegas, Boston, the Wynn properties, they have a lot of similarity to Marina Bay Sands. And you can see this. They figure out that with rolling smart tables, what's a smart table? Smart table is just a table that helps the casino to have the correct calculations. They don't cheat, they don't do nothing. They just follow with RFIDs and cameras what's happening, and since that they can expect a hold. You can see here exactly the same. They are betting that 50 basis points, 64 basis points, 116 basis points, low, but this first quarter was still ramping. These machines, they are ramping. So when you mix to this 526, 484, we get an average of 450. According my calculus, the real actual hold for the new Tiger tables and everything that I will explain in this moment. Let me jump to this so you can have a clear. Elios, ¿cómo puedo poner las otras fotos? Es que estas se cerraron. Ahí, es acá, ¿verdad?
Aquí hay
okay.
corte.
We're gonna show.
Espérate, otra vez, we're gonna show.
We're gonna show this beautiful picture. It's a table in the Encore at Las Vegas, a baccarat table, that they just add these three things that they weren't before. Small tiger, tiger, big tiger, tiger pairs, and tie. Before it was only tiger, pair, tie, pair. Now they have this tiger. It may seem very little, but let's start with this calculation. All casinos, how it's expected, how the spreadsheets are working in the ecosystem of Wall Street, they say that the actual hold of a rolling VIP player or a mass or whatever, if they bet bank or player, the casino has plus tie, the casino has a 2.5% theoretical edge. What means every time you roll $100 in the old baccarat tables, the casino, you know, with millions and millions of bets, is gonna win 2.5%. That means $2.5 every $100. But now you can see this picture. It's a bank, they are betting $970. In the old casino, betting bank or player, this 100 and 100 will be missing, plus this 70. So it was gonna be a $700 bet in this hand, fetching the casino $20. You know, $20, okay, it's fine. It's gonna be, you know, in millions of hands. That's gonna happen. You know, it's mathematics. It's been forever. You know, it's not easy. You know, they say it all the time. House never loses. This is why, because they have the edge. You know, they charge a 5% commission in the bank, and with this tiny thing, you know, they're gonna do 2.5%. This table, if it wasn't existing the Tiger, probably this 200, this player was not going to play. He was going to ask for a free hand, and it was going to be a $20 profit for the casino to having this hand. But now, this changed dramatically. This 700 you're showing here, they're going to fetch exactly the same, the 2.5%, the $20. But this $70, 35 plus 100, this $270, the edge of the house betting these things, the Tiger, is a whopping 15%. So when you get $270 by 0.15%, it means a $40 casino win every time they bet the same quantity. So before the casino was winning 20, and now it's winning 60. So, voila. The question I've been asking for the last 12 months is, where is going all this money? Where the fuck is going all this money, you know? Because they were doing $20 and now they're doing 60. But this, you can replicate it in the 1,000 baccarat tables in the Wynn. You can see the baccarat is 650 tables. So the tables are doing the triple, but the casino is not doing the triple. So if you can understand this Tiger, what is Tiger? It's mathematics. It's that the casino will win the bank with 2 cards on 6 or 3 cards on 6. That's a big Tiger or this baby Tiger. And it's gonna happen every time, but the theoretical edge, it's very little and it's hard to hit it. You know, I ask a casino dealer or many casino dealers when I'm in Vegas, how many times it happens. It happens many in a shoe. It can happen from 3 to 5 normally. A shoe, a very exotic shoe, it can happen 8, but normally it happens 3 times. So the edge of the casino is 15%. That's brutally. Let's go lower. Let's take the numbers wrong, and no, it's not gonna do $60 this hand. This hand is gonna do $40 because they were lucky. To make a small parenthesis is that luck. If you're a VIP, a gambler, or whatever, if you're betting Tiger, or if you're betting these strange little circles, you are fucked, brother. There's no way out. You cannot win. It's impossible. Mathematics don't lie. You cannot win. You may win one shoe, you may win one run, one trip, but in the end, the variance, the theoretical edge, everything changed for the casino. This is the little Tiger thing that it looks very similar, but these two new circles, it changed the game forever. You can see in Macau, this is Wynn Peninsula. You can see the limits of the tables outside, 5,000 Hong Kong dollars. That means $650 average minimum daily, minimum bet. That it's outrageous, that's for the normal floor, it's against the VIP floor in Vegas. But what I can show you is that they have implemented the baby tiger, big tiger, the pairs. All the tables in Wynn and almost in all the casinos are rolled with this new system. And the tables are smart. If something is wrong, because calculations are not that easy, or if something is wrong, this machine, the cage, they know exactly how much money they have in the beginning, what was betted, and how much it needs to be finished. If this rack is wrong, the dealer is not allowed to keep going. But what makes this interesting is that this little advance reduces all the friction with the player. It will be no longer, we pay wrong, we miss this, we miss that. Technology is helping the game that, this ultra VIP, guest, VIP, premium mass, they don't have any friction, you don't need to deal that the casino later comes and tells you, hey bro, we pay you wrong and you owe us $1,000 or something. With this machinery, that's all wrong. The hold is amazing. The bets change, the limit change. Al Marjan. We have here the estimated capex. And the VIP, they are crazy. You are watching here $5 million Hong Kong dollars. It means $700,000 in chips. That's an average whale in the Macau industry. It's nuts. It's a fucking amount of money that the high rollers that bet on course of getting crazy. So now I'm gonna shift to my napkins and I wanna show you why they are completely wrong, okay? This is a stupid machine. How can I show you these photos? Let's move to this one. Sorry, but it's not my live thing. So what I can show you, the stock, we have earnings date in 2 hours from now on. And what is interesting of all this information is that I will show you my calculus and then you will be, if we are wrong or they are wrong. How can I open this photo? I don't want to cut this machine or nothing. Elliot, ¿me puedes ayudar a enseñar las fotos de mi ¿Dónde era?
¿De dónde están? ¿Qué son? ¿Fotos?
No, las de mi hoja.
Imágenes.
Okay. Now, the big thing. A paper napkin or a piece of, my libreta, my working papers, and I figure out the tables. Let's start with the tables of Wynn, so you can understand if the value is 12 billion or it's 75 billion. Some comments of friends that they saw my video. I didn't have a lot of photos or whatever, I don't care. This is for me mainly, but I wish that I can give to some smart guys, the advice, and they can check and run their numbers. They can tell Wall Street is right, this kid is crazy. I can tell them according when I was doing my MBA. Normally, who follows the spreadsheets got blind and they try to put everything and follow the spreadsheet, you know. If people says 150 to 100, with a spreadsheet of Excel, you can tell whatever lie you want. You know, it's the biggest liar in the world. A number can be 10,000, it can be 100. You just change a number and that's it, you know, ramping, whatever. I saw the Morgan Stanley guy numbers and, you know, they're fucked up. He tends to get to the old Macau back in 2019 when the average hold table was 1.5%. Now we're talking 4 or 5%. It means 3 times. They said the VIP volume, now it's trading at 30% of the maximums in 2019. That VIP is growing, but it's not growing the old time, the junkets, you know, you're giving a lot of commissions, you are doing a lot of things. These new VIPs, you know, market that they come, they bring the cash, they play, they repeat, they come back, and they are happier than ever. That changed the things. So I start with the Wynn tables. You know, in Boston you have 200 tables, in Vegas 250, in Macau both properties 550. You have approximately 1,000 tables active. Then you need to segregate the tables or mix them, you know, because it's not the same a VIP, a super premium market, premium mass, a premium mass or a mass. They're completely different animals, different things. It's like, so you can get it easier. It's like a airplane. It's first class, business class, premium economy, and economy. So it doesn't fetch the same ticket price first class than an economy, right? You know, one-way ticket to Frankfurt in Lufthansa, first class is 10,000. In mass, in economy, in coach, is 1,000. You know, first class seat is 10 times the seat in economy. So if you can get accordingly, I figure out that 1 mass equals 3 premium mass equals 8 super premium mass equals 25 players of 1 VIP equals at least 25 of mass of Wynn. You know, it's here is the devil. The details are here because, you know, the tables, they don't work the same. And, you know, Billings all the time, the CEO of the company, he says, we don't care about occupation. We don't care. Okay, but occupation, if you see the numbers in Macau, they are running at 99%. If you ask a hospitality guy and you said, what's the occupation you can get? You cannot get to 100. You always need free rooms if something is wrong, if something is broken. And they're running at 99%. What they are looking, you know, that's the best important thing. What they're looking is who is on the property and who's betting. They don't want the guy, the rooms. Las Vegas Sands says the same. We don't need to sell $1,000 per key night. We need the guy that can gamble millions and earn us $1 million, $500,000, $100,000 per trip. That's the guys they're looking for in the market. So you can see all the tables. And what I find is that with the new system, with the new premium, with everything, the table win in Wynn, per table, the average should be at $35,000. Not $12,000 that is now the numbers they are running. So a table was doing $12,000 per day. Now it should do $35,000, $25,000. You know, every $1,000, it means $1 million per day. So if you change from now the average table in Wynn, you can check it in the reports in the fourth quarter in the third quarter. Boston did 4,500, Vegas did 7,000, and Macau blended, you know, the Wynn, Palace Wynn, it's around 15,000. So the blended table is at 12.5 thousand per day. So it's a difference at least 1x, 2 times or 3 times. You know, that's the Tiger thing. They can get the capex, they can get the opex, they can get to this beautiful bill, you know, because what I did interesting in this thing is that many expenses, they keep the same. D&A, it will always be 165, 180. It's not going to change too much. Pre-opening, they are spending 3 to 11. What I did also is take big numbers, you know, cut it, you know, if you don't know, take the biggest, take the highest of the last quarters and, you know, put it on your napkin, your worksheet or your paper, And let's build the numbers, do your math. I did it, I'm showing it. I have nothing to hide, everything is public. You need to understand and look the statements and correctly read them, because there are many things. So this pre-opening is gonna stay the same or higher. It can be 7 this quarter. The DNA is gonna stay at 165. Property charges, the HVAC is something wrong. You have a big event, something that changed. Normally you can spend 50 million. This triple net is the Boston lease they have. Corporate, they spend between 36 and 46, so let's say 50. Stock-based compensation, it's going between 15 and 30 million. So this quarter maximum is gonna be 30 million. The interest, they have 155 about the 10 billion debt they have run. This is a quarterly guide, so they're gonna spend this 155. They have this cash that they produce some interest, but it goes through this thing. I'm not gonna change, currency or everything because I don't understand it, but Wynn in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong dollar is pegged to the US dollar. It's at 7.8 since I was a kid. It hasn't changed. Also, when they are gonna open in the Emirates, it's 365 the dirham, so it's the same. It's like having US dollars. So I'm not gonna take it. And what is important of my calculus is that you need to take the income attributable to the Wynn Macau limited holders, that normally is like 15% of the share of EBITDA, because you also have the highest leasing name of the company. They charge gratuity for the name and everything, but it's going to be a 15% of the EBITDA of Macau. And the taxes blended after everything in the top down of the statement, it's going to be 13%. Las Vegas is 10%, but then China, they don't charge too much, because what they actually charge is from the beginning, they charge the 40%. So then whatever is wrong, it's going to take maximum the tax is 10%. So I'm building the numbers accordingly, so we cannot have any mistakes. And what is interesting is that's why I'm thinking the market, if you can go here, if you can go to this beautiful thing, these are the earnings they reported. 4Q of last year was amazing. It beat about 115, but lately it's been in the $1.20 range. This quarter they're expecting $1.50, and all these guys, they said that the stock should be in 164, 118. I said it's missing a zero. So if you can see this 100, they are expecting a normalized $1.4 per EBITDA, EPS net. I'm expecting $3 EPS at least, but it can go all the way to 5. The numbers are crazy. The rolling system, if you change the rolling in Macau and you put the actual hold of 4%, 4.2% against 2.7 that it was reported last quarter, or 5.1 or whatever, it means 300 millions more in Macau. Blended at 40%, bring it down, taking it down lower, because what is more important in the EBITDA or everything in this time is that the main driver of profits is the casino. The casino outside Vegas, that it's 40% casino, 3% F&B, and 3% hotel. In Macau is 80% gaming, 10% food and beverage, and 10% hospitality. So, the big driver, the big event, the big thing is the casino. So if it's going to explode with the hold and everything, from 200 million EBITDA in Vegas, this quarter, the fourth quarter of 2025, we are filming it before the earnings, before they release it, because then they will say it's luck. The guy was whooping or whatever. No, I've been digging deep dive on this, Numbers, it's getting me crazy. Where the fuck this Tiger money is going all away when the 60% of the casino tables are baccarat? You change a 2% game for a carnival game. You did a 4-card poker or 3-card poker, Texas Hold'em, stupid games in the casino. They have big odds, and you bring it to the baccarat, and now you change the economy, you change the game, you change everything. So they were doing 200 million last quarter in Las Vegas. I'm getting the fourth quarter of 2024 that they were, we take a hit of 25 million according to the Formula One thing. This year, the third year of Formula One in Vegas, the casino rocket, everybody lose. The ADR was skyrocketing, it was through the roof. Everything was crazy. So I expect to go this number at least to 350 million. Boston, if we check the last episode, it's been in 60 million, blah, blah, blah for the last 12 quarters. But what's happening on? We haven't put the Tiger. So let's get a $15 million bump. And then Macau. If you change the billions rolling and you keep the edge, you're gonna have that the casino is gonna net a GGR of 300 million, a blended of 45%, because when the numbers start to go, these casinos, they have already paid the rent, they have already paid expenses, the employees, the colleagues, the lease, the license fee, everything is paid. So you have this beautiful thing that this 300 million that is going to change, I think that at least 150, because the hotel, you can go to Google or whatever and you can try to book the Wynn Palace or the Wynn Macau and you will not able to find a fucking room. They have it for their players. They want the rooms for the people inside. They want their things. They have the technology, the CRM. They want to give the rooms to the players. They don't want a tourist that is going to go to Macau and, walk and be out of the floor. They want people in the floor, in the gaming areas. The GGR in Macau that you can see it also, the reports and everything is blowing. January was 25%. They break it year over year. That's brutal. So these numbers are not crazy. So this 67 comes out of the Macau EBITDA of 450 by 15% plus the 455 that they remain the same because they're not going to change. It can be less, but no more. Plus 114 of the taxes. It gets you to a 636. By 875, you will have a whooping 250 million profit that is going to go to the shares. But I don't care, Maybe the earnings per share, they can lie a lot. They are liars because you can add, one-time cost here, one-time cost there, technology, advances, hold, lock, blah, blah, blah. And, you can do your EPS like always, and you can say, oh, we did $1. When the reality, the cash, they build a 300 million free cash flow going, or 400 million going directly. If numbers are correctly, the thing is changing me is that we have the properties in Macau in the palace. They are fixing the chairman club, moving from 54 tables to 71. That little change is what it's taking me, and the zero bond is not ready, but I calculate the properties are in 90% shape. So also this number can go to 800, but the market is expecting a 550. It means, wow, this 250 million, where it's going, brother? And I said, it's Tiger, it's hold, it's mathematics. They said, no, it can be impossible. The spreadsheets don't lie. Yes, but it's like if you want to get normal comparison in life, you want to say, hey, this is the old school, this is the new school. The game changed. It's like trying to get times before AI and times after AI. The time changed, technology changed, and the profits boom or boost. In this way, the casinos, but it's not only Wynn what it's getting me drive. It's all the sector, even a shit like Caesars, with this Tiger thing and these new side bets, it changed the game. They, from being very mediocre and almost bankrupt, they can succeed in this thing because player is happier, player is funnier, player repeats. So it's going to save the companies because also Billing says casino is a matter of supply and demand. If the supply and demand keeps the way it's going, it's perfect for the casinos. And the players, they also lose comms and everything because with the technology, the RFIDs, this player that it came and it changed, $100,000, but it bets really easily, a lot of free hands. Now the casino has clear page of this brother is yielding us 10%, this brother is yielding 5%, this brother is yielding 2%. We don't want it. Interesting about also a very clear factor, offer and demand, is Macau. Wynn has 550 tables out of 6,000 tables. The casino in Macau, this Chinese government, she is a genius, you know. They take out the junkets, they take out the money laundry, they take out the players that keep being problematic, and they said, okay, we're gonna regulate the game, and we're gonna be partners 50-50 with the casinos, because 40% GGR, absolutely of the table win, it means they are partners with the casinos 50-50. But the supply here, the 550 tables, is 9% out of the tables of all Macau. And Macau is growing at whooping numbers, you know. They have, for these Chinese New Year's, Fire Horse, starting in next week. They're expecting 180,000 people daily from mainland, from Hong Kong, from the Great Bay Area of Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Yuhao. And they're expecting 180,000 persons, you know. Mainly average is 140,000, it means 70,000 rooms. Macau has only 40,000 rooms. So the supply and the demand is completely broken. And what happens there? If you are Wynn, you are the top notch, you know, you are the elite, you go for the players that they don't have a salary, they don't mess up if inflation goes at 5 or 10%. It's wealth generation, you know, it's people that they are not caped at the stupid Fed results of 3% inflation and 2% growing, blah, blah, blah. These ultra high net worths, they are not enabled to this crap. So taking the tables, taking all the taxes, doing the big numbers, at least I expect a $18,000 table win per day blended for the 1,000 tables in Las Vegas, in all Wynn. It means a $5,000 difference in tables. By 1,000 tables, it means $5 million per day. Run your EBITDA, it means almost $2 billion per year. They create now 2.3 billion. So this is $2 billion more that these 455 millions, they don't grow too much. They stay stable. The only thing that changes is the taxes and the Wynn Macau limited attribution. The rest stays the same. So if you can add the 2 billion that is coming from this table win, and you do ceteris paribus, you know, the food and beverage, the keys, the hotel keys that you have 8,000 keys, the slots, the F&B, they will keep all the expenses the same, and you're gonna earn 6 million per day more. It means 2 billion, that is gonna be $20 per share annually. If you get it by quarter, it's $5 per share only of this change. Plus the 150, it means 650. So here's my numbers, you know. Wynn's top down, SBR way. I don't know if it's top down, bottom up, you know, all that crap that analysts like to say. I said, okay, if you can imagine a business, it doesn't need to, you know, as I told you, I run a business, so I'm very good with numbers, or I think I'm good. Maybe next week or in a year, if this thing goes wrong, I will don't succeed as the way I want, but I'm trying it. But I said, let's put this top-down valuation of SBR to have the EBITDA per day. So you can see, I was telling you 2.2 billion EBITDA per year, plus the 2, it's gonna be 4 billion. Here, 10 million per day by 365, it's 4 billion. It matches your numbers? It makes sense, Elios?
Yes.
So how I did it, we have 1,000 tables in all the properties. At 80,000, it means 18 million. You have 8,000 keys in Vegas, Macau, and Boston. You know, the ADR, you can see it on the page. It's going run at, you know, the hospitality and the rooms, it keeps at 80%, you know, profit, I think, because the casino is going to be full. The ADRs go to the sky, so the numbers go to the sky. You know, billing says trees don't go to the sky, but things are looking pretty well. So I dig on and I say, okay, this is the information, that is what I have. And they come and they offer me a business. So we have 2.5 million per day of keys. You have 2 million of slots at 65% because, you know, you take the GGR, the taxes and everything, the numbers are here. You have almost 6,000 machines. You have F&B, you have 54 outlets. It means at 40,000 per outlet, but then you have the SW that it can bill you $500,000 in one good night or 200,000. Ahí voy. And then, que lo empiezo a atender. Sorry, I'm on my office and I'm telling about the customer. Always customer first is our priority. And then it's something that it needs to go. So you have the 2 million here, the F&B. And then you have the OPEX, also Cameron, the CFO of Wynn says it. The Vegas OPEX is 4.5 million, the Macau is 3 million, the Boston is 1.3. All these are 10 million. This CAPEX, OPEX is the maintenance thing that I'm taking at 10% out of the expenses. It can be 0.5, it can be $1 million, whatever. Then make again more taxes, more extras, build the numbers, and you get to this whopping 10 million. By 365 days, it got to 4 billion. Again, numbers top down, bottom up, they keep going the same way. So they may say 2.2 billion, then 2.8, but eventually by 2027, before the opening of Marjan, we have a $4 billion property EBITDA. Then we go to the SOTP, sum of the parts. Easily, you said, Salomon, we want to build a new game, we want to build a new business, and let's fetch how it's going to cost us in 2026 numbers, with inflation ramping up and everything through the sky. The things are brutally. So I said, if our tables, baccarat tables, and every table is able to yield 10 million, final bet it's 500,000 per month. The table, each table produces 500,000. If you get it at WACC, this WACC, I hate it, because it's also analysts and everything they got, in weighted average compounding, WACC, whatever, costo de capital, it's stupid at 5%. If I have a business, I have a property, whatever property, an apartment, a department, whatever you want. If you said it's gonna make me $500,000 at 5% per annual yield, it means the table is at least 10 million. $10 million per table that they have worth 1,000 tables, it's gonna be $10 billion. Then you have 8,000 rooms, getting Resorts World or whatever, at $1 million per key, you have the ultra suites, the normal rooms. The rooms in Wynn, they are beautiful, every property. So low ball, high ball, it can be anywhere between 750 and 0.5 million, but let's say $1 million. Then you have 8 billion of keys that if I want to construct it today, I will need 8 billion and 10 years to have it in operation and whatever, finding this premium real estate because they are all located in premium real estate. It's not like buying in Fifth Avenue or 47. Then you can buy at the Bronx or whatever, premium plots these days are extremely high to find. You have the slots, the 6,000 slots. If they average at $500 per day, every slot, I'm willing to pay $1 million. That's what I will build $1 million. So building these 6,000 slots is going to be $6 billion. Then going low ball, ultra low ball, the food and beverage, spaces, entertainment, convention, all these, they have thousands of square foot. Let's put 3 billion. Then I'm doing it very easily so I don't get complicated in a stupid spreadsheet and put you all the details and growing at 3%, 2%, blah, blah, blah comparisons and sucking your mind. I'm just figuring it out in an easy paper. And then you have the art. You have Picasso, you have the Jeff Koons, you have the tulips, you have all these Chinese craftsmanship, all these beautiful paints, all this beautiful art. Whopping, 2 million here, 5 million here, 10 million here, wherever it's here, it's gonna be $1 billion at least. They have a complete gallery all the way around, thousands and thousands of paints and everything, but let's do 1 billion. Then the DNA, all these benefits that the company has been investing and has not been depreciated, I calculated at 700 million per year. Let's get to 5 billion, easy calculation. Then you have the Mayfair, these beautiful 2 townhouses in Mayfair. Mayfair is like brutally the best zip code worldwide. It's where the billionaires, the sheikhs, everyone wants to be in Mayfair. They have 20 tables here. So I said they didn't let us know how much they pay to Aspinalls, But what I'm sure is that these things, these 20 tables yielding 20,000 per day, blah, 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 it's going to be $1 billion for Mayfair. Then you have Marjan, again, 1,500 keys, 250 tables, 2,000 slots. By two, getting 50% ownership because the Sheikh is owner of the other 50%. It's a $6 billion. And then you have all the land bank. The land bank, 170 acres in Vegas at $7 million per acre, Macau 15, Boston 30, Marjan 500. You want $2 billion? I think you need way more. But let's do it, low ball, take the numbers down, be conservative, don't try to play it up. You get a whooping $42 billion just of getting these assets in stream. You know how long it's going to take you? And getting the quality and the quantity, getting as Wynn, I don't know, it's not even possible. They have the Wynn development design, they have the industry, they have the benchmark, they have the insights, they have everything over there. So it's an art, it's delivering. It's not as easy as I'm going to create a Wynn and boo. You can find similar effects, people trying in Bahamar or whatever. So we get to the land bank, we get to everything, the 30 billion. Sorry, we have an interruption. I need to go to the customer first, as always. But then we have all these 42 billion adding up in a easily sum of the parts, and you rest 10 billion that they have in debt, and it's a whooping 30 billion. The market says 12 billion, it's 2.5 times. But what is interesting is that if you have a company at 4 billion per year, changing the multiple that now it's at almost 9 times to 15 times, you can get all the way to 75 billion. It's a huge gap with 12. So they tell me how it's missing a zero, blah, 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 blah. Wynn is inelastic. Wynn is the 1%. And they should trade at a premium above the market. What they don't do is that, the market, Wynn is like Caesars or MGM or this crap. And no, it's going to be 9 times the multiple. I said, this way you can get all the way to 75 billion. It's a 45 billion difference with this. Or 35 billion. But, here is the example, the triangles. You can be from 30 billion to 75 billion. And daily EBITDA per day from 8 to 15. If we go to 15, this thing balloons. And the numbers, they don't lie. They don't change. You can see why my $1,000 share price of Wynn, it's available. If you get 75 billion by 100 millions, it means 715 shares in normal thing. But if this gets hot and then you need to add all the trending topic, blah, 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 that it's coming, you can get too easily to 1,000. Now it's trading at 100, yes. I saw Bitcoin at 5,000, I saw Bitcoin at 200, I saw Bitcoin at 20. And then why it's trading at 65,000, now it crashed. Wow, it crashed at 65,000, a piece that it was trading 5 years ago in 3,000, but it crashed to 65 and Bitcoin has no value. Bitcoin has no thing. It's the same with Wynn. They said this thing is worth 100 per piece. I said it's 1,000. How I know the rate, you can get the average bet of the table Wynn that now it's at 12,000 blended, but you can get all the way to 50,000. We're betting at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Hong Kong, but there are hands at 5, 10, or 100,000. So the numbers, getting one guy 24/7 in the tables, whopping, you can get stupid numbers. This thing, it means if they have the full occupancy and everything, you can fetch more 15 million per day. It's, 5 billion more of EBITDA. It's crazy. Here are the numbers, here are the calculations. I go through the Encore Boston and I said, okay, let's see how many tables of VIP. This is the beautiful staircase, the down floor, the main area, but here are the VIP tables, the blackjacks, the baccarat, the craps, also the baccarat tables, the roulette. I make it with clear understanding of what's happening in the market on those days. And what I'm telling you is offer and demand, that, we are here in this little breaking point. But once it changes, this thing is gonna go to the sky. It's gonna go, trees don't go to the sky, but things looks pretty good. I love Billing saying this. People hate it because they say he's a CFO, he's very conservative. But if I will be him, I will be played the same way. You have the best assets, you have the best thinks you have the bright future, you have all the development, you keep quiet, you keep buying your own stock. It's happening in all the shares, Las Vegas Sands, MGM, Melco, every big six company is buying back their shares because they're extremely wrong value. Here is what you can see, the supply keeps tight, the demand goes to the sky. Every number, every single number, it can go all the way back. In the top down, bottom up, analysts would say, every table is worth $500 per hour. It can go to $1,900 or it can go to $5,000. And that means EBITDA, cash, free cash flow, content going in the cage daily. The interesting is that you know, analysts, fuck you. You can tell that your spreadsheet Wynn is going to do 2.4 billion. It's going to grow a boring 4% per year. I said, fuck you. The numbers don't lie. Sorry my vocabulary, but I'm deep angry that these guys, all the 18, they try to share and, spreading a spreadsheet and ramping and changing the run rate, blah, 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 and making this thing look from 118 all the way to 164. You are missing a zero, brother. This is a fact. Time will always tell. Thank you for joining me in this second episode. We are at almost 67 minutes that they release the numbers, and if it's another quarter that they try and they magician, and then let's keep with the EBITDA. Let's see this number. Cheers, brothers. We love. This is a great company, but not only Wynn. All the casinos, they are really, really wrong. They don't know their numbers. They don't know what they are doing. They got betanized. They got with the REIT, with all these renting cost and everything, and they said everyone is the same. You can have a Godzilla and a hamster, two type of eggs, both hidden, and we don't care. This Godzilla is not gonna do nothing, but then it's gonna grow. So let's cheer. Let's get back to the price now at this price that we have. Market now. Let's see the stock. It moves almost nothing. You can see it moved 12 cents with a ridiculous volume of 1.3 million, for a pre-earnings. Let's see what's happening. They say PE ratio 24, EPS trailing 12 months 450. I said this is a 25. It's missing. This is gonna shrink to 3. Boof, the beta, I really don't care. I never understand it in the master. I said it's worthless because you cannot have a top tier property mixed with a bullshit property, and then you have the beta because beta is the way people is taught to do. Follow them. Then why you're 401 or whatever, you're broken and inflation is killing you because you follow these guys. Run your numbers, run it. Thanks, Elios, for helping me get this one, and see you in the next one. Cheers.